I'm here in Battle Creek, Michigan at the GHS String Company, and I'd like to say hello to everybody, and I'm hanging out with my buddy Jonathan, having a great time. I think one of the main things I was told, because I was very much into solo bass players and players like Stanley Clarke and Billy Sheehan and Jocko, and, was to play bass on gigs and to save that for the right moment, or to save that basically for my own project. And I think the thing that was valuable about that was that you know, you learn to play for the song, and to basically pick and choose where you would put your chops, you know, and this is what's expected and what's pretty much valued by other musicians when they hire a bass player. They look for that first and foremost. And not to say that you can't do your soloistic stuff, but do it in the right spots, in other words, you know. And I would kind of impose my style on everybody, and not the most mature way to approach a gig. But I was 19, you know, so you go through that. But I finally listened, but I should have listened a little earlier, I think, because most of the older musicians that I worked with liked the way I played and were supportive. They were just giving me constructive criticism. Opportunities have diminished in some ways for live playing, but the expectations of the musicians, especially bass players, the versatility, I think it's more difficult these days to just be a jazz player or just be a specific type of player. A lot of musicians now, or bass players and specifically, are expected to be able to play different styles,
and play them,
basses,
and play them well,
and play them, yeah, very proficiently. You know, like for instance, you do, you know, a gig, you have to be able to play slap bass, maybe a 50s style rock and roll walking bass, boogie woogie type bass line. Maybe have to bow some classical things on an upright bass, and then maybe have to play a fretless bass, a melodic Jocko-esque sort of line, all in the same gig, and all be able to do it well. So I think the demands for the working bass player have increased. The demands, the proficiency on the instrument, versatility. YouTube, I think, is great. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I mean, I auditioned for Joe Satriani. I also played with Gary Hoey, and both of those were through YouTube videos of myself playing. I was able to land those auditions. It's, you know, it goes out to the whole world. It's good. There's good and bad, like everything else. I see a lot of videos. People aren't really ready to be putting this stuff up, but they put it up anyhow. I'm very particular on what I post, but it's great exposure, you know, and I think it's expected in a way now. That's the way artists find players is through the internet. It's a great vehicle. It's a great tool to use, along with, you know, I think it's just a combination of that with playing live a lot. Don't get too wrapped up in just playing to a video camera, but it's a great way to document your playing and get it out to the world, and you never know who's going to see it. Tradesman view of it, and then there's the artistic, and if you can combine the two, that's perfect. But to work, you know, and make a living, I mean, you have to kind of lean towards the tradesman side of it and get your reading together, play well with the metronome, click track, you know, learn different styles, like we spoke of earlier, you know, learning to play, you know, proficiently with slap and finger picking, and just styles, different styles. So basically you treat it like a skill, and to hone in on it, and be organized in your practice schedules, and treat every gig like you're playing at Carnegie Hall, you know, I mean, because I think every gig's a learning experience in some shape or form.